My name is Garrick Ollivander. In the wizarding world, my name has become synonymous with magic itself. You might know me as the pale, wispy man with the unsettling, silvery eyes. It is in my dusty little shop that the story of nearly every great witch and wizard truly begins. I am known as a master craftsman, the guardian of an ancient and mysterious art. But more than anything, you know me for my uncanny, almost impossible ability. I remember every single wand I have ever sold.
You saw it the moment a young Harry Potter walked into my shop. I recalled the wands of his parents, James and Lily, with startling detail. The wood, the length, their very personalities. For years, you have accepted this as a sign of my incredible skill, a quirky but impressive magical talent. But what if you are wrong? What if the truth behind my famous memory is far darker and more tragic than you ever imagined? What if it is not a gift at all, but a hereditary curse that has haunted my family for centuries, turning my life's work into a source of unending pain?
So, the official story from my memory is simple. I am a genius, with a single-minded, even fanatical determination to perfect the art of wand making. My family has been in this business since 382 BC, arriving in Britain with the Romans and completely changing the game. Before my ancestors, making a wand was messy work. A wizard might bring in a whisker from their cat, and the wand maker would just stuff it into a random piece of wood. It was the Ollivander family who first figured out that the wand must choose the wizard. And it was I who took it to the next level, insisting on using only the most powerful magical cores: unicorn hair, dragon heartstring, and phoenix feather. My perfect recall is just seen as a side effect of this lifelong dedication. But this is where the simple story ends, because it feels like more than just dedication, doesn't it? The way I speak of wands is different. I speak of them as if they are truly alive, with thoughts and feelings of their own. I remember the wand that gave Harry his scar with an almost sad, soft tone, acknowledging the terrible yet great things it did in Voldemort's hand. This is not a merchant admiring his product. This is a man who is fundamentally connected to his creations. What if that connection is literal, a psychic bond forged the moment I create them?
Let's take a closer look at me. I have always been described as frail, almost ghost-like. My wide, pale, moon-like eyes seem to unnerve everyone I meet. You might write it off as old age and the quirks of a reclusive genius, but what if it isn't eccentricity? What if it's exhaustion? The kind of deep, soul-crushing weariness that comes from having a mind that is never, ever quiet. Think about my shop, cluttered from floor to ceiling with thousands of little boxes. It seems like a charmingly chaotic workshop, doesn't it? But if you look at it through the lens of this theory, it becomes something else entirely. A physical map of my own mind, overcrowded and filled with countless voices and destinies, all stacked on top of each other, waiting. The real clue, though, is my reaction to power. I am not a dark wizard. I am a Ravenclaw, dedicated to knowledge. And yet I speak of Voldemort's power with a chilling fascination. After being rescued from a year of torture at Malfoy Manor, one of my first thoughts was a brief moment of awe at what Voldemort could do with the Elder Wand. That is not how a typical victim would react. It is the reaction of someone who is detached, an observer forced to see greatness even in the most horrific acts. And why? Because the curse of the Woodsmiths' memory doesn't let me look away. This brings us to the heart of the matter, the Woodsmiths' memory. It suggests that my family's big breakthrough in wand making came at a terrible price. We know that wands are quasi-sentient, they learn from their owners. This theory proposes that my ancestors, in their quest to make the best wands, didn't just use sentient materials, they bound that sentience to themselves. It starts with the wood. Each wand-quality tree holds raw, untopped magic. The theory goes that when I carve this wood, I am not just shaping it, I am performing a ritual that awakens its consciousness, and in doing so, creates a parasitic link. The magical core, the dragon heartstring, the unicorn hair, the phoenix feather, acts like a bridge, solidifying this bond not to the witch or wizard who buys it, but back to the person who made it. So when a wand chooses a wizard in my shop, it isn't just a happy moment of magical connection, it's the final brutal step of the curse. The sale is a transfer of allegiance, sure, but the psychic tether to me, the maker, never breaks. For every wand I sell, a piece of its story is permanently carved into my mind. This is why my memory is perfect. I am not just recalling information, I am carrying a constant living presence for every wand I've ever made.
Once you have this idea in your head, the evidence begins to connect. First, the parasitic link. I don't just remember the wand's specs, I know their personalities. I told Harry his wand was swishy and good for charms, while his father's was pliable and excellent for transfiguration. How could I possibly know that? Because I feel it. The link forces me to experience a ghost of the magic my wands perform. I feel the swish of a charm, the crackle of a transfiguration, and the searing heat of a dark curse. Second, the psychic scars. Just think about the sheer number of wands I have sold over a 60-plus year career. I have felt Neville Longbottom's fumbling, insecure spells, followed by the surge of power and courage as he grew into a hero. I have felt the joy of every student mastering their first Wingardium Leviosa, but I have also felt every unforgivable curse. I have experienced the cold ambition of Lucius Malfoy, the sadistic cruelty of Bellatrix Lestrange, and the genocidal rage of Lord Voldemort. Each spell, good or evil, leaves a psychic scar. My fascination with Voldemort is not admiration, it's the detached horror of a man forced to watch his own creation become a weapon for world-altering evil. Finally, the tragic sacrifice. My family's obsession with creating the perfect wand suddenly makes sense. It was never for fame or money. It was a duty we placed upon ourselves. We became the sole providers of these superior wands, empowering the entire wizarding world, but sacrificing our own peace of mind to do it. I am not just a shopkeeper. I am a silent, suffering historian of my own time, a prisoner in a library of souls that I myself built. Now, just try to imagine what I went through during the final hours of the Second Wizarding War. While the world watched the Battle of Hogwarts, I felt it on a scale no one else could possibly comprehend. Through thousands of psychic connections, I experienced the battle from every single side. I felt the defiant energy of wands casting shield charms on the castle walls. I felt the splintering crack as wands were broken, each one a sharp, stabbing pain in my own mind. I felt the flash of green light from a killing curse, followed by the sudden, horrifying silence as the connection to that wand's owner was severed forever. I felt that again and again, dozens, then hundreds of times over. I felt the snap as Harry ripped Draco Malfoy's wand from his grasp, feeling its allegiance shift in a dizzying instant. I felt the awesome, ancient power of the Elder Wand, a wand I knew so much about, and felt how deeply wrong it was in Voldemort's grip. And finally, I felt the triumphant rebound of Harry's disarming charm, the shattering of Voldemort's power, and the quiet settling of the Elder One's allegiance to its true master. For me, the end of the war wasn't a distant victory, but a roaring storm of pain and loss, followed by a sudden, blessedly quiet hum. This theory of the Woodsmiths' memory reframes me from a quirky craftsman into one of the most tragic figures in the entire saga, a man who dedicated his life to empowering others only to be imprisoned by the very magic he perfected. My perfect memory is no longer a gift, but a profound burden, a constant, unwavering recording of every triumph, every failure, and every death carried out by a wand that bears my name. I am the ultimate ghost of magic's past, present, and future. Of course, this is all just a theory. The books paint me as a master of my craft and nothing more, but it offers a dark and compelling answer to the question of my incredible ability. It turns my cluttered little shop into a powerful memorial, and my strange, distant personality into a mask for unimaginable suffering. So what do you think? Is my memory a gift of genius or the mark of a terrible ancient curse? Let me know what you believe in the comments below. If you enjoy exploring the darker corners of the wizarding world, you may wish to subscribe for more theories just like this one.